What's up, guys? I'm Bob Tompkins with the Living in SC team at Real Broker, and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode of Living in SC, we are going to be talking about the pros and cons of living in Easley, South Carolina. Now, before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you're thinking about making a move to South Carolina, hit us up at the number and email below. We would absolutely love to help you with your move. Now, without waiting around any longer, let's get right into it. With the first pro of living in Easley, South Carolina is the location. Easley is extremely well positioned for commuters to downtown Greenville. If you're wanting to have a short 20 to 25 minute drive to get into the city for work and then back home, Easley is a phenomenal place for this. With 178 that kind of runs through Liberty and up near Easley, as well as 123 that runs from Greenville to Clemson, you do have good access around the northern part of the upstate. It does allow you to kind of get around pretty easily there. Also, with that location in Easley, you have really good access to some of the outdoor recreational opportunities that the upstate provides. Easley is just a short drive over to Table Rock State Park, probably about 30 to 35 minutes if you kind of scoot through Pickens to get there, which is awesome for those of you who like to hike or maybe go and do some like bike trails, that sort of thing. Table Rock State Park is a really cool place. And through 123, going over through Clemson, you have great access over to Lake Keowee, as well as Lake Jocassee, and all that is offered around there as well. So for those of you who are outdoor enthusiasts, as well as those who need to, let's say, commute to Greenville for work, or maybe commute over to Clemson for work, it is a very, very good location. Now, with my first con about Easley, it is also the location. So while Easley does provide good access to Greenville, good access to Clemson, as well as some of those outdoor recreational things, there are certain areas in the upstate that provide really good access to all of the upstate. Unfortunately, Easley is not that type of location. It is really good for the specific type of person that is working in either Easley, Greenville, or Clemson. Even a commute down to downtown Anderson can be rather cumbersome if you're living in Easley. So the location does come with some pros and cons. If you're looking to try and get around the entire upstate, or maybe have a job that would require you to do so, I would suggest looking at areas that are directly off I-85 or I-385. If you're up in Easley, you're so disconnected from that interstate system that an ease of commute across the entire upstate isn't really that easy. Now, with my second pro, it is Easley's development. Easley is doing a really good job of trying to rejuvenate, revitalize their downtown area in order to be a suburb that competes with some of the other up-and-coming places around Greenville. And to do so, they've actually modeled themselves off of downtown Greenville, specifically the West End. They've done this primarily with one project that's called the Silos in Easley. They've modeled this off of what's going on at Gather Greenville in downtown Greenville, which is this open air concept, kind of community food court, place to hang out, do a little bit of shopping. And the Silos are a super cool place. In fact, when we have a lot of people coming from out of state and they're visiting around, one of the biggest questions we get about the other suburbs around Greenville is, do you have anything like the Silos in Easley? Because once people go and visit this, it is one of those places that is truly special and just keeps people coming back for more. So as Easley continues to do more of these projects, their downtown is going to continue to improve and really be a place that people seek out and want to hang out. Now, the con with this is some of the past development of Easley, specifically Highway 123, where it is a very long and busy stretch of road with a bunch of commercial spaces up and down it. It's not exactly super pleasant on the eye. While there are really good commercial spaces and some really good places in Easley, it is a bit of an eyesore when you're on 123, and because it's such a heavily trafficked road from Greenville to Clemson, and for those in between, 123 can be a bit of a headache for people. So while they're doing a great job with the development of downtown, there are some past developments that, in my opinion, hold Easley back from being what it could be. Hopefully over time, and as more development happens in Easley, this is something that gets overcome. Now, with my third pro of living in and around Easley, South Carolina, is the cost of living. Easley, because it is not the most desired suburb of Greenville, while Greer, Travelers Rest, and Simpsonville may top that list, Easley is a great suburb to live in. But because it ranks kind of 4th or 5th on that list, it's not as desired, therefore the price points have not been elevated as much by people moving to the area. Along with that, the taxes are lower because you get into Pickens and Anderson counties where the taxes aren't as high as Greenville County, which allows you to save some money with your monthly mortgage payment, as well as having a lower cost home in the first place. Now, I'd love to have a con to go along with this one, but I don't really have one personally. You could say that it is a little less desirable because of the lack of infrastructure or some of that past development that exists in Easley. But for me, if I can save a buck and still have great access to downtown Greenville, I'm one happy person. Now, with my final pro of living in and around Easley, it is the school system. If you look at various school systems around the upstate of South Carolina, Anderson School District 1, which houses Wren, Easley, and Powdersville High, are some of the highest rated high schools per greatschools.org. Now, that being said, greatschools.org can be biased and in some instances is known to be discriminatory. So I would suggest you do your own research before taking my word on this. However, those schools are ones that clients constantly bring up as desired schools for their children. So if you're looking at different places around the upstate, Easley may be one that you really want to seek out because of those school systems. Now, when you compare to some of the Greenville schools in the Greenville school system, Anderson 1 doesn't quite rank as high on some of these websites, but compared to the rest of Pickens County, Anderson County, and maybe even Oconee County, it is the highest. This is something I can speak personally to because me and my family specifically chose to move to Anderson School District 1 because of Wren High School. Now, while everyone's school system experience may be a little bit different, and I am partial, Anderson School District 1 is one that ranks higher on these different various websites, so it is worth giving research to and seeing if it would be the best fit for you and your family. So what's the con to a good education? Well, while the schools around Easley do rank as some of the highest, South Carolina as a whole ranks as one of the lowest school systems in the country. We actually fall around 40th. So we aren't top tier as far as some of those grading systems work nationally, but you would be finding some of the state's highest ranked schools according to these third-party surveyors. So take it as you will, these schools in the state of South Carolina may afford you the education that you're looking for your family. Once again, I'm Bob Tompkins with the Living in SC team at Real Broker. I hope this video has been helpful to you. And once again, if you're thinking about making a move to South Carolina, hit us up at the contact information listed below. Don't forget to subscribe and check out some of our other videos. And we'll see you next time on Living in South Carolina.